Week 3 of the Diddy trial has begun, and following Kid Cudi's testimony, federal prosecutors are continuing to disclose the names of high-profile celebrities who were reportedly present at Diddy's parties and may have played a role in helping him hide his alleged misconduct. Names mentioned include T.D. Jakes, Ben Affleck, Usher, and Robert Downey Jr. Prosecutors have also reportedly identified the individual who initially exposed Diddy's actions.
Actually recently walked away from J-Lo because these allegations were coming out.
And isn't there even some concern that or proof that Pastor T.D. Jakes?
Well, I'm getting right there. So there's this big list that Diddy said, I'm not going down alone. Because Cat Williams went on a podcast a while back, and Cat Williams, who's a well-known comedian in the black community for a long time, he went on a podcast and basically just regurgitated all this information that was just so valid. And he said, all these people, he said, you got God on one side and then you got the other side. And he said, the other side, they're all going down in 2024. And he mentioned that he was offered $50 million 4 separate times to join in with these Diddy parties to basically be sodomized. And he turned it down every time.
To help his career.
To bring his career to the next level.
You're on a raft.
Yes.
In the middle of the ocean.
Right.
You look in the water.
That would give me so much anxiety. Go ahead.
Oh, this is about to give you more anxiety. You look in the ocean, you see 2 people floating.
Oh, shit.
You can only pull up one because that's how much room you have on your raft. You look in the ocean, you see Ben Affleck, and you see Diddy. That's it. J to the L.
The full list of influential figures connected to Diddy is raising eyebrows, including former U.S. presidents, members of the British royal family, top music executives, and high-ranking CEOs. Many of these powerful individuals have been linked to past scandals as well, leading some to question whether it's merely coincidence that the same names continue to surface whenever serious allegations come to light.
President Clinton, President Obama, President Trump. I think these are 3 American presidents who really, really, really wish they had no connection to Diddy. But they all do. They all know him, appeared with him, partied with him. Clinton, Obama, Trump, and they're not the only famous people who partied and hung out with Diddy. Apparently there's like at least, 100 plus who are going to be named in his trial. Famous shiny stars. We named some of them last night. We got a new one tonight, Iron Man. But we don't yet know what the connection is. Like, how are all these famous faces and names going to be connected to P. Diddy in his traffic trial? It's the kind of thing they're all freaking out about, right? And there are many unnamed yet. We're just finding out about them in jury selection. But I'll tell you what, the internet is freaking out and making its connections. Which shiny star had what connection to Diddy, and how could that end up in the case?
I appreciate y'all. Thank you. And I just want to say how much I appreciate Puff Daddy for doing the kinds of work that he's doing, because he doesn't have to do this. But this is part of what is important about giving back.
Yes, we applaud you, and I want to apologize for not sweating, but I do this so much. I'm so cool. I just want y'all to see everybody I'm interviewing is sweating. I'm not even touching my brow. I'm so cool, and I want to apologize. I ain't trying to make you look bad or nothing like that, but I'm just so cool. We
a t-shirt. I tell you, if he was wearing one of those fancy designer clothes he's designing.
Candidates are being asked about their own connections to or impressions of an array of celebrities, and with no explanation why, at least not yet. The parlor games have begun, my friends. Everybody is trying to connect the dots between the shiny, famous names and the beleaguered rap star Diddy and the charges. Just today, the name Robert Downey Jr. came up in court. Robert Downey, the actor, and Diddy apparently do know each other and have been seen together in public. But Robert Downey Jr. reportedly never attended Diddy's parties. So if he does figure into this trial somehow, it's going to be a lot of news to a lot of us. Mike Myers, another favorite Canadian, favorite actor, favorite comedian. He is on the jury question list as well. And that too is a tongue-wagging mystery. Unless it's about the quick jab at Diddy that he took in the Austin Powers movie, I don't know. Doesn't seem likely. Rolling Stone magazine reports that actor Michael B. Jordan made the list because Diddy once threatened him for dating Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Same goes for the rapper Kid Cudi. USA Today says that Cassie's lawsuit claimed that Diddy threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car.
One of the public figures now distancing himself from Diddy is Dallas Bishop T.D. Jakes. Shortly after reports emerged that Diddy had been offered a plea deal in exchange for cooperating with authorities, Jakes announced he was stepping down as lead pastor of the Potter's House megachurch. While he's attempted to explain his frequent presence at Diddy's gatherings, many are finding his justifications unconvincing.
You get on my nerves talking about who you should be seen with. I do homeless shelters. I walk in prison ministries. I deal with murders. I deal with because they're our children, our sons, and
to many in the religious community, Bishop T.D. Jakes has been a spiritual advisor to presidents and a religious voice to thousands. Now he says it's time to pass the baton to a new generation.
This is a beautiful moment for me.
From the pulpit Sunday, Bishop T.D. Jakes announced that he was stepping down from leadership at the Potter's House.
Nearly a year ago, comedian Cat Williams called out what he described as T.D. Jakes' hypocrisy, and even predicted his potential downfall alongside Diddy. Now, some of those claims are resurfacing in a new light. T.D. Jakes was first named in connection with Diddy in Lil Rod's lawsuit, which alleges that Diddy used Jakes' religious influence to repair his public image. According to the claims, Jakes may have played a role in helping Diddy gain trust and access to new circles under the guise of spiritual mentorship.
Cat Williams calls out Bishop T.D. Jakes and watches T.D. Jakes and Gino Jennings' response.
I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, T.D. Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
Good, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm good because I know the truth.
T.D. Jakes, do not speak against homosexuality.
World-renowned Dallas pastor T.D. Jakes is named in a federal lawsuit against musician Sean Diddy Combs.
It's filed by a producer that worked with Combs. It discusses how the singer planned to leverage his relationship with the bishop to soften the impact on his public image of Cassie Ventura's lawsuit. Ventura is a former girlfriend of Combs who filed her own lawsuit in November alleging abuse, violence, and sex trafficking.
Could this federal investigation have come out of these private lawsuits?
Oh, absolutely. If it involves sex trafficking or drugs or weapons or other illegal behavior.
Lori Levinson is a former federal prosecutor.
They've decided this is worth a lot of resources across the country. So once they've done these searches, they have evidence to follow up on. And if they've got it.
Usher, once seen as Diddy's protege, is now facing scrutiny as well. During her testimony last week, Cassie stated that Usher witnessed multiple troubling incidents involving Diddy and helped conceal them. Additionally, Dawn Richard, a former member of Danity Kane, testified about a 2010 incident at a West Hollywood restaurant, where she claimed Usher saw Diddy strike Cassie during a private conversation. According to Richard, Diddy allegedly punched Cassie in the stomach, causing her to bend over in pain and leave immediately.
She wasn't alone in witnessing Sean Diddy Combs' abuse. During her second day of testimony in the music mogul's federal trial, the 41-year-old described an alleged 2010 incident of Combs punching then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura at a West Hollywood, California restaurant and said Usher was also a witness to the event. During her testimony May 19th per NBC News, which had a reporter in the courtroom, she said, quote, Mr. Combs punched Cassie in the stomach. They were having a private conversation and then he punched her in the stomach. She immediately leaned over and left. In addition to Usher, Richard, who was a member of the girl group Danity Kane, which was formed on Combs' show Making the Band in 2004, alleged that other musicians, including singer Neo, record exec Jimmy Iovine, and rapper Big Daddy Kane were present as well. When Richard and Ventura got into a car to leave after the alleged restaurant incident, Richard said another physical altercation took place between Combs, who has pleaded not guilty to all charges, and his then girlfriend. She continues in her testimony, quote, "We got in the car to head back to her house. Combs grabbed her, slapped her, popped her in the mouth, and told her to shut the f*** up."
Another major celebrity connected to this story is Justin Bieber. Unlike others, he hasn't remained completely silent. Allegations have surfaced that Justin faced abuse early in his career, beginning around the age of 13, when he was reportedly under Diddy's supervision. Some claims suggest he was exposed to troubling situations involving powerful figures in the entertainment industry. Shortly after the Diddy trial began, Justin released a statement acknowledging that he was aware of serious things happening behind the scenes, signaling that he may be ready to speak out more openly.
Justin Bieber breaking his silence on the ordeal after months of speculation over their one-time relationship. His rep telling ET, although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from this reality detracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve. Bieber's questionable connection to Diddy piquing interest online as the rap mogul's indictment for sex trafficking and racketeering charges, which he denies, made headlines. Old clips of the two hanging out while Justin was underage resurfacing.
Hey, let's just go get some girls. Let's go get some girls.
Man after my heart, that's what I'm talking about. We hit him like this, so me and you walking, we hanging out, a little later on the night after the Usher concert.
There's also this old Jimmy Kimmel Live segment, adding to fan fears about what might have gone down with Diddy.
Got me a Lamborghini.
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television. Oh, apparently not. Something, everything ain't for everybody.
This all comes as Bieber's followers are worried for him, the singer's erratic social media posts causing concern week after week, the Beliebers asking if what he's seen behind the scenes of the industry.
Billionaires like Kanye and Jay-Z didn't speak up, and Kanye is still supporting Puff. Kanye was also named in the trial. Was it because he had something to do with the entire thing?
Michael B. Jordan, Kanye West, and more celebrities were name-dropped at Sean Diddy Combs' trial. As jury selection in the mogul sex trafficking trial got underway May 5th in New York, NBC News reports prospective jurors were shown a list of more than 100 names of people and places that may be referenced during the trial, including actors Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, and rapper Kanye West. While the aforementioned celebrities are not implicated in the case, the potential jurors were asked whether they knew any of the names listed and whether it would impact their ability to be impartial, per the outlet. Attorneys did not share an explanation for the list. The names of women who have taken legal action against Combs were also on the list, including his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, whose November 2023 sexual lawsuit against the rapper was settled one day after it was filed. Danity Kane alum Don Richard, who accused Combs of sexual assault in a lawsuit filed in September, was also listed. Combs has denied any wrongdoing.
Reports are now emerging that the true reason Diddy was exposed is because he lost the protection he had for so long. It's believed that Diddy went against his powerful backers, which led to them turning against him. It's hard to ignore how suspicious it is that just 2 months after Diddy's contract with Diageo ended, his entire world started to unravel. Could Diageo have played a role in Diddy's downfall?
Diddy sues Diageo. Diddy filed a lawsuit accusing Diageo of neglecting the De Leon brand, racial discrimination, claiming they marketed it as an urban product and failed to treat him as a true business partner. Then in January 2024, they settled out of court. Diageo and Diego settled the dispute out of court. While details still remain sealed, the settlement marked the end of their business relationship. So this is from 2007 to 2024, 17 years. Could they have protected him? I don't know. Their CEO currently today is Deborah Ann Crew. She was a former intelligence officer in the military. Once intelligence officer, forever you're an intelligence officer. Who knows what happened there? We don't know the relationship. We're not going to make any accusations. All we know is, could this have been a protection where they were at the parties and they knew things that were taking place and are like, wait, what do you want to do to us? No problem. Boom, drop the bomb. I don't know. All I'm saying is the timing is kind of strange. Maybe even they wanted to kind of be like, look, we know what's about to be dropped on this guy. We want to have nothing to do with you. We're out. Here's some money. You stay quiet. We'll pay you, but we want to get out of here. The only thing that the timing is kind of crazy is January 2024, they settle. 2 months later, remember what we're sitting there doing and minding our own business? And you hear March of 2024, the feds are raiding Diddy's Miami home and his LA home.
There are events unfolding behind the scenes that will ultimately shape the outcome of this trial. It's no coincidence that those close to Diddy started distancing themselves or disappearing when it suited him. Ironically, the very people who once helped remove Diddy's opponents might now be turning against him.
Let me ask you a question. From your journalistic perspective, have you ever noticed how in this industry, people untimely meet their demise as soon as somebody else seems like they're having a problem? Have you ever seen that before?
Well, there was, of course, the case of one of his other ex-girlfriends, Kim Porter, who died of pneumonia at a very young age. You just referenced your own situation with pneumonia that you believe was deliberate poisoning. Do you believe that may be what happened to her?
Why are so many people coming down with pneumonia? Why is that happening to everybody? What is that about? Where have you ever seen this many cases of pneumonia associated with one situation? So,
there were rumors.
I'm not saying.
Well, I was going to mention on this that there have been rumors circulating online that Diddy may have poisoned Jamie Foxx, which caused his 2023 hospitalization. In his Netflix show, he compared Combs to the devil in revealing his near-death experience after a brain bleed and stroke. He said, I say this all the time. I saw the tunnel. I didn't see the light. It was hot in that tunnel. I thought, have I gone to the wrong place? I looked at the end of the tunnel and I thought I saw the devil saying, come on. Or was that Puffy? I'm effing around, but if that was Puffy at a flaming box.
Jamie Foxx revealed that Diddy harmed him, highlighting just how much darker this industry is than most people realize. Recently, on an episode of The Joe Rogan Experience, Joe Rogan talked about the serious allegations against Diddy.
Why can't we get anything concrete? All we really have is the hotel hallway beat ass.
That one is in the process. At least,
I don't know.
It's gonna be but hold months. On. He's in jail. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of lawsuits. That one is like, we're going to find out. Yeah. Jamie Foxx just recently said that P. Diddy poisoned him.
What?
And that's why he got that stroke.
I've heard that.
He talked about it on stage.
He said it?
He said it.
He got poisoned?
He said it.
He goes, I didn't have a heart attack because of the vaccine. It was Diddy shutting me up.
See if we can find that, because he said it on stage.
Diddy was poisoning people?
Bro, I think there was some crazy shit going on.
Like Cosby shit? Like drugging?
Diddy wasn't even that big.
I think
it was could do it.
There's alleged murder. There's a bunch of people that got pneumonia, a bunch of convenient people that died of pneumonia. Jamie Foxx addresses whether Diddy was responsible for his 2023 hospitalization while filming Netflix special. Holy shit.
Jamie Foxx has a Netflix special. Do they not care about at all stand-up?
Jamie Foxx is hilarious. Audience members, hold on, go back.
I see him at clubs all the time, working out his bits.
What is that? Share slip.
I only respect
Look
grinders.
At this. The audience members had varying accounts of the comedian's words. Two of them claimed that Foxx said Diddy was responsible for what happened to him, that he's the one who called the FBI on Diddy, who's currently in prison awaiting trial.
Diddy has turned down the plea deal offered by federal prosecutors, which would have required him to admit guilt to charges including sex trafficking, racketeering, forced prostitution, and drug offenses. Accepting the deal would have meant a lighter sentence, but it appears that won't be the case. If Diddy is convicted, it could implicate others as well. Jay-Z, TD Jakes, Usher, and even Clive Davis could face serious consequences if they appear on the recordings seized from Diddy's Miami mansion.
Hearing before Sean Combs' trial starts, when he walked into federal court today, he appeared to be looking for his family. They've pretty much been at all of the hearings that I've been to, but there was no presence of his sons or his mother or his sister who had previously been at those hearings. So here's what came out of today's hearing. Number one, the government acknowledged that they offered Combs a plea deal. Combs acknowledged he has no interest in taking that, they're going to move forward with the trial. They also talked about the jury selection process, which one legal expert I spoke to said is probably the most important thing that you want to pay close attention to before the actual trial starts. And thirdly, we learned that Combs will be adding 2 new attorneys to his defense team. And just to recap, Combs, who is 55 years old, could spend the rest of his life behind bars if convicted on sex trafficking and racketeering. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges.
Tonight involving the case against Sean Diddy Combs, what he decided in court today, and what this now means, the move coming just 4 days before his trial is set to begin. Here's Aaron Katursky.
Tonight, Sean Combs makes it official. He's rejecting the government's offer to plead guilty and spare himself the possibility of a prolonged term in prison. When asked if he turned down the offer, Combs answered, "Yes, I do, Your Honor," as he stood in a baggy beige jail uniform. Terms were not disclosed, but prosecutors did say a plea could result in a shorter sentence for Combs than if he's convicted. The decision guarantees Combs will face trial beginning just 4 days from now that will test whether one of music's most prolific figures used his power, wealth, and fame to sexually exploit both women and men for decades. Combs has pleaded not guilty to racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution charges that accused him of coercing alleged victims into prolonged drug-fueled sexual activity that he called freak-offs and threatening them